Members, please take your seats. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Mr. President,
All right, today we are so honored to have Father Everett Pearson of the Mount Calvary Catholic Church in Forestville, Maryland, guest of the distinguished senator from District 27. Members, please rise for the invocation.
Good and gracious Lord, we come before you with great humility as we begin a session of the Maryland State Senate in the year 2022. We are mindful of our many strengths and even more mindful of our limitations. We recognize many beliefs, values, and traditions that we share. Unite us under the one banner of your love. Maryland, our beloved state, with her many facets of life and culture, is a beacon for all to see and admire. Her beautiful waters, her majestic mountains, and fertile plains are sights for the eye to behold. Her mighty cities, quaint hamlets, and burgeoning communities are the subject of fine lore. And her many people, with their iconic history, ethnic diversity, and varied beliefs, are the envy of any state, foreign or domestic. And for these and all of our blessings, we give you thanks. We ask that you continue to bless us, that you keep us, and forever shine your face upon us. Many subjects and topics are before us, and we acknowledge the many difficulties that we confront each and every day, especially the continued effect of the COVID virus, which has marred our state, nation, and planet. We ask that you be with us in our assembly and in our society. Increase our zeal, protect us from all harm, and inspire us with your guidance. Guide our legislators in their sessions. Strengthen their resolve. Open their eyes to see, their ears to hear, their minds to understand, and their hearts to love, so that all of their decisions may be beneficial for the entirety of the citizenry of Maryland, regardless of race, creed, color, gender, or status. May all of the works that they have begun and continuously do be brought to benevolent completion. For all these requests that we make are made in your most gracious name, and we say, amen.
Thank you, Father. Wonderful. Chair recognizes Senator from District 27.
Thank you, Mr. President and colleagues. Father Everett Pearson is my pastor and priest from Mount Calvary Catholic Church, which sits in the beautiful district of 25. I've been a member of that church since 1969. So I would, and for our younger colleagues, but I would be remiss if I didn't mention that there's nothing more important than for each and every one of us to be grounded, and that's up to each individual to understand what that means to them. But I'm glad to be able to have the Father with us this year. Last year we were trying to get things done virtually, and our tech capabilities weren't where they needed to be. So thank you again, Mr. President and colleagues. And Father, obviously thank you for those wise words this morning.
And Senator, we will certainly journalize the Father's wonderful invocation this morning.
Absolutely. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. All right, off we go. Has everybody in the chamber recorded their presence? Do we have? If so, the clerk will take the call. With 44 members in the chamber and a quorum being present, the Senate of Maryland is now in session. Senators, we don't have a whole lot. We're here in these beginning days, and we will probably do a pro forma session tomorrow because we're just, we're in the bill introduction phase of our General Assembly session here. So we'll be quick, but if there's anything that senators would like to pass along or mention, these early days would be a good time to do so. Yes, Chair recognizes Senator from District 33.
Thank you, Mr. President. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to make a request of the chair and the majority leader to adjourn in the name of a constituent of mine. And you all know her, Margaret Benarski. You all know her. It's Peg from the Calvert House. Peg was 93 years old. Her husband died when she was 70, and for almost 20-some years, she worked and greeted us as we came into Calvert House. I got to tell you, she was my older aunt that I adored. She knew us. She greeted us with enthusiasm. A native of Massachusetts, she had the good fortune to marry a Marine officer, and traveled all around the United States and Hawaii. But upon his retirement, he started working for NSA. And that brought her to Severna Park, and that brought her to Annapolis. A face we will remember, a personality we really enjoyed. And we request that the body adjourn in the name of Margaret Bednarski. Thank you, Mr. President.
Most certainly. Thank you, Senator, for bringing that to our attention. And she's a wonderful, wonderful woman, just so pleasant, just the salt of the earth. And we certainly will adjourn in her honor. Do we have a resolution? Chair recognizes the Senator from Montgomery County. We have a resolution to be presented.
Hello, colleagues. Today we celebrate Korean American Day and the 140th anniversary of diplomatic relations between America and Korea. On January 13, 1903, the first Korean American immigrants arrived in the United States. Despite these immigrants facing overwhelming discrimination, some of the most difficult conditions, these first immigrants and their descendants have made significant contributions to Maryland, America through their talent, their relentless work ethic, and resources, and they bravely served in our armed forces to defend freedom and justice, and have helped our state and country excel in science, technology, medicine, business, education, the arts, sports, journalism, and politics too, and just about everything. And we have some members who are Americans of Korean descent in the General Assembly, in particular the House delegates. Despite this community and the Asian American community being victims of hate crimes and violence within these last 2 years, they did their part, and they've donated hundreds of thousands of PPEs to our first responders and healthcare providers, so they're doing their part. And the new immigrants that are coming here today, they are building on the foundation that those that came before them. And all together, they have all helped build America, and it is fitting that we honor them today and honor the Korean American community. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you so much, Senator. And before the body is the resolution to recognize Korean American Foundation's Korean American Day and the 140th anniversary of diplomatic relations. The clerk will call the roll.
Mr. President,
Has everyone recorded their vote? If so, the clerk will take the call. The Senate of Maryland unanimously endorses the resolution celebrating the Korean American Day, the 140th anniversary of our diplomatic relations, and are so thankful, so deeply thankful to our Korean American neighbors, residents, community members, friends, colleagues. We would be a different state were it not for our Korean American heritage embedded within. So thank you, Senator, for bringing that resolution to us. Hopefully, maybe later in session, we can have some representatives from the Korean American community join us, and we can kind of do it in person so that they can be celebrated here on the Senate floor again after February 11th, although we may have a couple visitors before that. Excellent. All right. Chair recognizes Senator from District 45, Baltimore City.
Thank you, Mr. President. In the stands with us, colleagues, we have David Lance. He's brought to us, able to work in the office with the phenomenal internship program that we have. David Lance is also a student currently enrolled at Morgan State University. Colleagues, Mr. President, one of the unique opportunities that we have and responsibilities is to lift as we climb, and hoping that David has that experience to be able to share with you all throughout this 90-day sessions. Colleagues, if we could welcome David Lance.
Welcome, David. All right, Chair recognizes Senator from Baltimore County.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Following in the footsteps of my colleague from Baltimore City, I would like to ask you to welcome two of my interns this session, one of whom has worked for me for over a year, a fantastic student at Notre Dame University of Maryland. She's a senior, Rochelle Thompson. Rochelle, please stand up. She really stepped forward to help us with unemployment insurance, has been a steadfast worker over a year, so thrilled to have her continue. I also have David Carpe, who is a student at the University of Maryland School of Law, and he is joining us as well this year, and I think this is both of their first times in Annapolis seeing us in session, so happy to have them. Thank you.
Excellent. Welcome, David and Rochelle. We are so pleased to have people back, not quite fully, but we're getting there. We're getting there. All right, any other announcements or introductions? All right, in that case, without objection, so be considered the reading of the journal from the prior legislative day. We have the introductory calendar of bills, our major piece of work today. The clerk will read the bills.
Senate Bill 229, Senator Gallion, Environment on Farm Composting Facilities Permit Exemption, EHE. Senate Bill 230, Senator Jackson, Health Occupation Service Members, Veterans and Military Spouses, Temporary Licensure, Certification, Registration and Permitting, EHE. Senate Bill 231, Senator Jackson, Correctional Officers Retirement System, Membership, B&T. Senate Bill 232, Senator Jackson, Registers of Will, Maximum Salary Increase, JPR.
Majority Leader moves so be considered the reading of the bills. We've got a good one on there, that 988, the behavioral health bill, which we know our senator from Herman County has been doing so much work on 911 Next Gen, and now we have the next version for behavioral health crises. We've got some good work to do this year for Marylanders. Yes, Chair recognizes the Minority Leader.
Yes, just a question, Mr. President. I know we're in COVID protocol, are we going to get these in paper, or is it just going to be electronic this year?
So it's electronic for now, since we don't have the pages is the challenge. So for larger amendments, we're going to make sure to print them all out, but at the moment, it's electronic, the calendars. We can have a conversation about it if we want to think about maybe some things. We can do it ahead of session. It's the during session part that makes it a little more challenging. All right, that does it. The desk is clear. Let's do committee announcements, a couple administrative things at the end. So we'll start with committee announcements. Chair recognizes the Chair of Finance.
Thank you, Mr. President and members. Finance Committee will meet today at 1 p.m. for an organizational meeting, and then we will have a brief hearing agenda. We've got 3 executive branch departments coming in, nothing really sexy or fancy, but we're going to hear from Workforce Development and Adult Learning Apprenticeship Council, from the State Commission of Real Estate Appraisers, and the Oversight of Cemetery, Office of Cemetery Oversight, and these are just for sunset extension. Thank you.
Chair recognizes the Chair of Education, Health, and Environmental Affairs.
I hope this brings a laugh as well, Mr. President. Mr. President, members of the committee, we'll have an organizational meeting at 10:45 in the committee room. That should be fairly brief. At 1 o'clock, we have a joint briefing with HGO on 3 topics. 1, the vaccine waste that you probably read about. That'll be followed by a presentation from DoIT on what was an incident and now is a ransomware attack, and that'll be followed by the Department of Health, who'll talk about the effects of that attack on the records, on COVID response, and other issues. So it's going to be a full and packed time. Thank you.
Hugely important briefing there. Cyber stuff is just getting more and more intense. So Chair recognizes the Chair of Budget and Tax.
Thank you, Mr. President. Today at 1 o'clock we'll have our organizational meeting, followed by our annual briefing from Moody's Analytics on the overall economy.
What time is that one, Senator?
The second part?
Moody's.
Just when it, probably quarter after.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you, Senator. Chair recognizes the Chair of Judicial Proceedings.
Thank you, Mr. President. The Judicial Proceedings Committee will have an organizational meeting at 1 p.m., followed by 10 departmental bill hearings at 1:30.
JPR is jumping out of the gate early. All right, the race is on. All right, any delegations, select committees. Yes, Chair recognizes the Chair of the Anne Arundel.
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. To the Anne Arundel County delegation, we will have an organizational meeting tomorrow at 9 a.m. And a reminder to please get us your donut orders for you and your staff. We'll be delivering them to your office pre-meeting. Thank you, Mr. President.
Wonderful, thank you, Senator. Chair recognizes the co-chair of protocol. Nope. Senator from the Eastern Shore, Middle Eastern Shore.
Thank you very much. The Eastern Shore delegation will meet tomorrow morning by Zoom at 9 o'clock. Thank you very much.
Tomorrow at 9 a.m. 9 a.m. Any further announcements? All right, if not, just, yes, Chair recognizes Senator from Charles County.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. President. Colleagues, sorry I missed the introduction of staff members earlier. My staff was busy taking care of some bills, so they just appear in the gallery. I just want to introduce my Chief of Staff, Autumn Grant, with me a year now, coming on a year anniversary. She was named by the Baltimore Sun as 10 under 30 to watch this past summer. Just a tremendous lady doing great work for the people of Charles County and the state of Maryland. So I want to, Autumn, please stand and wave. Thanks.
Welcome, Autumn. Doing great work.
And also with her is two-year now intern, Marnie Beecham. She's a senior at Townsend University, doing great work. She's from Charles County, and so she's here with us today. Could you please stand?
Welcome.
Marnie? Okay, great, thanks. Okay. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Senator. Chair recognizes Senator from District 14.
Thank you very much, Mr. President, colleagues. I just want to take this moment to thank the ARC of Maryland for all their advocacy, and in particular, the nice coffee this morning that they provided, socially distanced, in a socially distanced way on Lawyers Mall. So thank you to the ARC of Maryland for warming us up and also being great advocates for the state of Maryland. Thank you.
Thank you. Well said. Thank you, Senator. We don't have a doctor. Do we have a doctor today? No doctor today. Okay. All right. Quick administrative note. Senators, you will receive a memo today. As many of you all are aware, this year, during the summer, we had to do a little bit of an expedited move of the Department of Legislative Services building. So that move started in September of this past year. This is a $120 million project that many of you all are aware is necessary. It's going to be an incredible space when it's done, but it is going to have some pretty severe disruptions through the fall of 2024. So the memo that you will receive today is the first outline. We have kind of a conceptual outline of the timeline that lays out which different parts will be handled at what times. And so as part of the project, we are going to be dealing with the tunnels as well. So that's going to necessitate some closures on the roads and digging down underneath. And so this is a very complex project that is demolition, rebuild, plus tunnel reconstruction. The other important logistical note of that is, and you all have experienced this, and certainly your staff have as well, there are 0 open spaces in any of the office spaces, either in the House or the Senate. It is full to the gills with print shop and mailroom and all of our incredible DLS staff. So we've had to make some adjustments in the way that we think about space and use space, and so you'll receive a memo today that really outlines all of kind of where things stand. Our hope is to start a newsletter that will come out on a regular basis to just update folks on the status of the reconstruction. And inevitably, there are going to be challenges that arise, parking issues and steam lines and all the stuff. So please don't hesitate to be in touch with my office on anything. This will be kind of a skeleton overview, and then we'll just update everyone as we move along. So we're going to make it through it. It'll be a beautiful space once it's done, but it's going to be challenged till it is. Chair recognizes the Minority Leader.
Yes, and thank you for all the work you've been doing on the protocols and so forth. One question came up administratively. Our staff has been trying to make appointments for next week's testing, and they said they're not available yet.
Oh.
So if somebody could assist in that.
We will double check on that. The other addition that we made is that there's going to be a fast pass process for members and staff for particularly on Tuesdays, where are the days where we have to be on the floor. So if that back-end system doesn't allow for the early appointments, there will be a QR system that allows for moving through and getting tested ahead of the required days. But we'll keep everybody, thank you for bringing it to our attention. We'll keep working on it. All right, so that was DLS. One other note is, looks like we have a storm coming on Sunday. As is always the case, who knows? It could be rain, it could be nothing, it could be a massive storm. So our plan is to be here in person, everyone, for MLK, to do an MLK celebration on the floor on Monday. In the case that the weather is significantly, if it is really severe and a hazard traveling, we will be in touch. Check the website. The website will have the first updates. We'll do a phone tree and get out the information, but the website will be the first place that would be the most accurate and up to date. So for you and for your staff, if there are any changes on Monday, please check there first, and we'll play it by ear, as we have learned to do through all of this. All right, any other announcements? Yes, Chair recognized Senator from District 6.
Thank you, Mr. President. Just to say, we do have one senator that's out that has COVID, as you know. But one thing that I would like everybody, if they could do, just take a brief moment and pray for each and every one of us and our staff that we'll be safe this time, and that God will show his great mercy to each and every one of us so we can make it through this 90 days and do some great things for our community and for our constituents. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Senator. Well said. All right. Anything else? Anything else? If not, let's call the roll.
Mr. President?
Has everyone recorded their presence? If so, the clerk will take the call. With 46 members in the chamber and a quorum being present, the Senate of Maryland remains in session. Chair recognizes the Majority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that the Senate of Maryland stand adjourned to a pro forma session tomorrow, Friday, January 14th at 11 a.m. And I'd like to adjourn today in memory of Margaret Miss Peg Bednarski.
Without objection, so ordered tomorrow, 11 a.m. in pro forma in honor of Miss Peg. Stay safe. Get booted.